Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do a video response to UltimateFloyd1. He did a fun video earlier today. He was just sharing his video gaming habits. And this is something I've thought about before. It's fun to think about, the kind of things that you do all the time around your game playing and maybe how those things change. So it was really fun to just hear him talk about that, and I wanted to do a response just so he can know what my habits are, and I figured you guys would enjoy hearing this. So I guess one of the things he talked about was going to the options screens. It was interesting, and I hadn't really thought about it, but I do the exact same thing. Whenever I put in a game for the first time, I always go to the options screen before hitting, new game or whatever, just to see what's there. And another thing that he mentioned that he does is to turn on the subtitles. And I've been doing the exact same thing pretty much every time I'll go in the options. And I think I'm looking for stuff like, is there a difficulty setting? Or can you change the language? Can you specify? Just being curious, because maybe if you can, maybe I'll go with Japanese one time, or English another, or that those are really my only two options. But yeah, I frequently turn subtitles on. I think mostly because if I'm playing it on my TV, especially in my living room, something about the mixes, it seems like, on new stuff. I don't know if it's like surround sound or what it is, but I just have my regular TV speakers, and sometimes the audio is just low in comparison to everything else. Maybe it's my ears, I don't know. I've been to some loud rock concerts. Maybe I'm just not hearing as well as I used to. But I really like having the subtitles on, that way I don't have to worry about, adjusting the volume, or I can just keep it low so I don't bug my neighbors, whatever. Another thing that I do, especially in RPGs, he was talking about RPGs quite a bit, is I'll tend to, when you have control over the stats progression of a character, I do what I think is called min-maxing. One of my friends used this term recently, and I don't think he was using it in this context. It actually had me curious to make sure that I, understood it properly, and when I looked it up, the way that I believe it is meant is when you have a character, like let's say they're a fighter. So there are some stats that just aren't going to apply to them very much, and some that are going to be really important. So you're basically trying to max the important stats and just min the ones that aren't important. And I do this a lot. If you can have a character, and basically if they start off with high dexterity or something, I'll just pour a ton of my upgrades into the dexterity so that they have super high dexterity, and forget the defense or something like that. Leave it really low, because in a lot of games, it seems like that can really compensate. If you have one stat that's really high, it can make up for stats that are really low, and I tend to do that when I get the option to make characters. I didn't used to. I used to kind of go really even with stuff, but I really kind of like the min-maxing. It's usually fun. Another thing I notice that I do when I'm playing games is when you get to the end, I tend to let the credits roll. I don't try to hit the button and try to skip it. I'll just let them go. And especially now, the credits are getting really long, longer than movies. I don't know when the first time I really noticed that the credits were longer than you would have at a film. I feel like Resistance 2 maybe was one of the first ones where I really noticed, man, this is, a lot of people worked on this thing. But it's not so much to, to kind of appreciate all the names in the list or anything like that. It's more just, I don't know if I got burned by something one time where if you skip the credits, you missed a trophy or an achievement or something like that. But I don't really want to miss anything. I guess it's kind of like staying at the movies to the end to see if they threw something after the credits. The same kind of thing with video games. I've started to do that, so that's just a thing I noticed. He was talking about food and drink a lot. I know he was saying that he doesn't like eating and playing games, and I'm a similar way. I do I guess I'll talk about this more, but I have been playing like portable games on my lunch break. So necessarily you kind of have food and the portable gaming close to each other, but I don't try to do them both at the same time. I will eat and then I will play. I'll usually make sure to like really either go wash my hands or clean them off really well, and because I'm similarly, I don't want to have my stuff all gunky and nasty. I don't like eating chips and playing video games or something. Usually I'll have some water. I drink a lot of water, so I definitely do that. But yeah, other habits. I've noticed that when I'm playing arcade style games, I really like to try to crack out my arcade stick and play with sort of the arcade controls. That seems like something that's maybe become more important to me recently, like in the past several years. And I don't always do it. I've actually been playing quite a bit of Cannon Spike recently since I did my video on it, and it's a ton of fun, and I'm feeling that urge. I do want to hook up my my arcade stick and play it with that, but I haven't. I've been playing it with a normal controller. But all those arcade compilations and stuff like that, I've been getting into them more, and I really like playing them with the arcade stick. I think that's a lot of fun. In terms of like play length, I've definitely been preferring to play for shorter periods of time. And this is a more recent thing. I'd say my ideal time is maybe between an hour, like a half hour to an hour. Because really when I get home too, I just want to watch anime or something, it's hard to game sometimes, especially something that's intense or takes a lot of concentration or is really challenging. Sometimes that's hard. Cannon Spike actually has been really fun because it's short. You can go through a whole run of that with a character, from the first level to the last in like 20 minutes maybe. So that's sort of a perfect length for me to be like, alright, I'm just gonna, relax, watch something, play Cannon Spike for like 20, 30, 40 minutes, and I'm good. I've been playing some other games like that where like I can just play them for maybe an hour and, I'm good. So that's great. And the same thing with portable gaming too. So this is another thing that has become more of a habit of mine, which it didn't used to be, is playing on portables. I realized now that I am playing my Vita a lot that I've never really portable gamed before. And that's been one of the things that's been frustrating for me, I guess, even when I had a PSP. And I did take it to work with me for quite a while, but honestly I watched videos on it more than I gamed. I did game some. I remember playing, was that Tower Rengoku? Something like that. Yeah, but I mean, I watched a lot of anime, really, on my PSP. So what I've started doing is gaming on my breaks, gaming on my lunch break more, again, where if you can take 15 minutes or a half hour, some short period of time in game, that's just working out better for me. So I've started portable gaming more, and, in a kind of a result of that is I've actually been gaming outside more. Which is a lot of fun. I've kind of made it a habit now to get out, like maybe on the weekend when it's nice weather and it's the summertime. Take my portable game system and just head out. Go to a park or something like that. I mean, I live out in the woods, so it's not like there's any lack of nature. But I'll go out to a park and just sit and play games for 40 minutes or an hour or something. And it's just it's kind of nice, like, to be able to just combine those two things. It's like I'm getting sun and I'm playing games. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, so that's really cool. Something I don't know if you guys do or not, but I've not started for a really long time. I always keep about 2 or 3 saves. Really doing YouTube videos, sometimes I keep like 20 saves because I want to go back and capture footage from older stuff that I was doing, but normally I'll keep 2 or 3 saves, for an RPG or something like that, and I'll just cycle through them. So, you know, I'll start here, I'll make a save, and then it's back to this one, back to this one, back to this one. So I always know that I have like maybe 2 back that I could go to if I get stuck or something like that. Not that that happens much these days. But I don't know. I always do that. I don't know if you guys do or not. Something else that I would call like a playing habit recently is when I'm playing retro consoles. I've started to really prioritize playing them on CRTs or playing them, you know, with scan lines. I don't know what it is. I was maybe not one of the first, but I was, you know, kind of first in line to jump onto the HD bandwagon when we were making the switch. I love HD TVs and all that stuff. But when it comes to the old systems, I really like the CRTs. And, you know, I've got this one back here, and I still have the other one that was there. I have another CRT that I have plans for. And, yeah, I just like playing those old systems on the CRTs. It's really nostalgic, and they look better, you know? So that started to become more important to me. I would call that a habit to play my old stuff on those. UltimateFloyd1 was talking about, you know, using game guides and, you know, looking stuff up online and that sort of thing. I was right with him because I have never liked doing that. But I talked not so long ago about the fact that I've started to turn around on that a little bit. I actually am really enjoying playing my retro systems with Game Genies. Because honestly, you know, those games, like, some of them they're fun, but they're hard, and I don't feel, you know, maybe it just comes back to that kind of wanting to relax a little bit more and just have fun rather than like have a challenge sometimes. Sometimes I want to really enjoy these games, but not, you know, just not have that nail-biting frustration. So I've been using my Game Genie more with that kind of stuff. It just really breathed a lot of life into those for me. So I'm really enjoying that. That's another habit that I've started up recently. And yeah, you know, I think another thing that I do is I tend to stick with the system that I played last. I don't know if you guys do this, but I build up a lot of inertia. Sort of, you know, and just don't like switching to another system. I don't know why that is, but you know, I've been playing my Dreamcast recently, and it's like I'll, you know, make some Dreamcast videos, and then I'll just want to keep playing stuff on the Dreamcast. And then I really get into this Dreamcast thing, and then something will happen, and I'll decide to play some other game, and then I'll really be into playing my Genesis, you know, and I'll keep playing more Genesis games after that. I don't know what it is like that, but once I start with a system, I'll usually I'll game on it for, you know, a little while, and before I switch over to something else. I don't do a lot of switching back and forth. I have started doing something I've heard other YouTubers talk about, which is to have a portable game and a console game going at the same time. You know, that's another thing I would say is normally I try to just stick to playing one game. I know UltimateFloyd1 mentioned this as well, that he would tend to do that, but that he also does, you know, the kind of the portable game and another console game. I don't think I really got that until I started portable gaming more. And, you know, it's kind of like when I'm at home, it is fun to take one of those games that I can just play for a half hour and pop it into, you know, one of my console systems. And not just stick with my portable system. But when I'm out, when I'm at work or something like that, I'm going to want to play the game on the portable system. And it works out great. I've just never done that before. It's a really new thing for me, but I found that, you know, once I started portable gaming more, it's a really natural thing to do. So anyway, those are my gaming habits. I hope that was fun, and you know, I'd really like to hear, you know, what you guys do that's the same or different from me. Definitely recommend that you guys check out UltimateFloyd1's video and do a video response if you guys are up for it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.